What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Pokemon Beach team. Alright, this one is for Patreon. If you want to become a patron and have your theme team done, you can check it out in the description. Okay, this is for Rodrigo. This is your team. Hope you enjoy this one, man. I have 6 Pokemon from that list, and I come up with some pretty cool sets as usual. Leave those Pokemon theme team suggestions in the comment section. Any feedback on the video would be wonderful too. Improvements, anything like that, or just general feedback, guys. That would be awesome. Okay, this was on my chat. If you want to battle me, head over there. I take battles every day there at a random time. Now, we have a Wimpod lead here against a Toucannon. This one's also against Brendan on my chat. Now, guys, I've got something pretty special at the end of the video in the bloopers. I've changed up a couple of little things there. Just a couple of new things that I might swap around every now and then. So, hope you enjoy that one. I hope you stick around that long to see it. Alright, so we have a Toucannon using Flame Charge on me, boosting its speed. The problem with Toucannon is it does have rather average speed there, so that's a nice way to get around it. Alright, so I've got my Aquawave Berry here, and I'm going to eat that and get my health back and get over the Wimp out. Unfortunately, I get flinched there, so we both know what item that is. Scumbag King's Rock. Okay, so it's going to go for yet another Flame Charge here, and it's going to be able to live that one, but unfortunately, my ability is going to kick in, and I'm going to get automatically swapped out of the game. So that was kind of annoying. So here, getting auto-swapped into Executor, which actually turned the tide of this game. Now, the Toucannon is going to go for the Drill Pack here. I've got a max health, max special attack, Alolan Executor. I'm going to eat a berry in the sky like, no care in the world there. And I'm going to be able to set up the Trick Room here. I don't get King's Rock flinch there, which is very nice there too. Okay, so since Toucannon, Two can play at that game. Since Toucannon has been bashing me around a bit, I'm going to be starting to bash it around a bit. So I've got Sword Dance on this, I've got Dragon Hammer, and I've got Wood Hammer, which works exceptionally well with the Citrus Berry Harvest set, and Dragon Hammer just with a nice stab as well. Sword Dance to boost your attack. It's very, very potent sweeper. Okay, so Ampharos is going to come in here. I'm going to go for these, as I said, I'm going to go for the Sword Dance there on the swap. Okay, so the only thing I was really worried about here was Ampharos. I knew that I'd be able to take it out. I was like, Ampharos could have static or something like that, and that would be probably the only thing I'd be worried about. And of course, I get static the first time I hit it, so that sucked. I was all ready to go for a sweep then. However, Paralysis will help me out in the Trick Room, because I'll be going last, but at the cost of not being able to attack, which is, I probably would have preferred not being paralyzed. Anyway, so I eat another berry in the sky, which is K, and I get my berry back straight away with a Harvest, which is beautiful. Alright, so Masquerain is going to come in here. I was all ready to go for the Dragon Hammer on this thing. Even with the Intimidate up, I still had +1, and Masquerain's defenses are definitely nothing to write home about. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed there, and it's going to be able to one-shot me there with the Bug Buzz. So, not a very lucky start to this battle there, and my Executor is going to go down there as well. But nice getting me back in the game there, and really forcing the swap on that Toucannon. Okay, so swapping in Wishy Washy here. Now, this has holding the ICMZ for Ice Beam. I've got Hydro Pump on this. I've also got U-Turn just for a little bit of scouting, and I've also got Hidden Power Ground on this just for some electric type Pokemon. EVs on this are running max health and max special attack. That's the basic strategy I was running on this one. Now, guys, if you want to see like all the Pokemon action, I definitely suggest you watch both battles there. Obviously, some of the battles, some of the Pokemon perform better than others, and you get to see all their set in action. All right, so going for the ICMZ Ice Beam was absolutely dominates Masquerain there. It's going to go down. All right, so the Trick Room is off. Wishy Washy was a very, very nice Trick Room Pokemon there as well. All right, so I knew Toucannon would use something like Bullet Seed against me, but I'm very, very bulky, so I knew that I could live it. Now, here I was going for... I just went for Ice Beam again because that was the best option there. Didn't want to go for Hydro Pump or anything like that, and obviously it's super effective. Okay, so the Toucannon is going to go for the Skill Link Bullet Seed there. So the whole idea is to... since I'm getting hit 5 times, the King's Rock to kick in there and flinch me, so I'm not going to be able to move. Okay, so I tanked that one as I knew I would. Unfortunately, I get flinched there, and I'm going to go into schooling mode there. So a little bit salty at the moment. A very salty start. Since there's no point me swapping in, I don't want to damage into my other Pokemon, so I just have to let Wishy Washy die there. And Yeah, this Toucannon is starting to really pee me off, so I have to get rid of it. All right, sending in the god himself, Pyukumuku, one of my very favorite Alola Pokemon. Then again, I do like a lot of them. Anyway, so it's going to go for the Drill Peck. I'm a very, very defensive Pyukumuku set. I've got a Rocky Helmet here, and I get the Toxic on the Toucannons, which I wanted to do there. Toucannon doesn't have the greatest move pool in the world. It's quite barren. So on this, I ran a little bit of a different set. I had Toxic on it. Of course, you need Toxic. That's sort of staple on Pyukumuku. I had Soak there, so I could soak Poison types, Steel types. I had Mud Sport on this thing. Mud Sport, you never see Mud Sport being used, but it's actually very good because it powers down the electric types, which is actually weak to, and makes it like super duper bulky there. And you can set up on any Pokemon. Like I did it for Wishy Washy as well to help that out, and obviously, of course, itself. All right, so here I've got Axu coming in here using Dragonette, so it's going to try and set up on me. A lot of Pokemon do like to set up on Pyukumuku. So going for the Toxic here on that. Since I'm very defensive, bulky, that was really a good thing. And obviously my last move there was Recover, so I could recover off my damage there. And the only physical move this thing has is Counter and Bide, which is interesting. I'm still waiting for someone to do to post a 6 Pyukumuku team. Oh my god, that would be hell. Anyway, so going for the Recover here. I want to be at full health, so I'm getting hit by whatever Dragon type move this is. I've used Soak there to change the typing as well. Okay, so things are going reasonable at the moment. I've got myself back into this game. Pyukumuku seems like a pretty good counter to a lot of these Pokemon. So swapping in Wimpod here to take the first attack. It's already in bad shape anyway, so I thought I'd just take the move, rack up that extra layer of toxic damage there. So it's going to go for the Outrage, which is a pretty powerful Dragon type move there. Now, it's at half health, so I estimate here about 2 or 3 more turns until it goes down. So all I really need to do here is use Recover, as it is locked into Outrage. The only thing I was really worried about was a critical hit. Then again, it's like still really super bulky there and tanking it rather nicely, getting extra damage from the Rocky Helmet and the Toxic as well. Okay, so going for the Recover here. That's all I really could do. I couldn't swap anything else into this. My other Pokemon would not likely take them very well. Okay, so the last turn here, it's going to go for the final Outrage. Doesn't get confused on the second one. And as I said, I'm going to easily be able to take that one out with the Rocky Helmet and the poison damage. And I'm going to recover all the way back to full health. Axu is down. Nice to see that being used, though. Okay, so getting all my health back here. So this was probably the core of my team, the Pyukumuku, and the other core I will show in a bit. Alright, so we have Vullaby here. Vullaby is a very bulky Everlight type Pokemon. Now, it can be a lot of things too. This seems to be a bulky sweeper. Now, however, I was thinking after I've seen the nasty plot, it could have... I'm thinking instead of Overcoat, it might have something like weak armor. So if it gets hit, it's going to boost its speed. Then it's going to turn into a bulky sweeper, that sort of thing. Anyway, so it's going to use... I'm going to use the Toxic on it. It's going to use the Dark Pulse there. I'm not as special bulky as I am physical. But obviously Vullaby doesn't have the special attack there. So it needs a couple of boosts to start doing a lot of damage to me. So I've got the Toxic up there, which is really nice. Swapping out Pyukumuku here, I thought this would be a prime opportunity to set in my Krabola here. Now, this Krabola was a pretty cool set. The Vullaby is going to go for another nasty spot like I knew it would. That's why I swapped it in. So, this has Substitute, max attack, max speed. Its speed is absolute garbage. Its attack isn't actually too bad there. So I've got Sub on this. I've also got Salac Berry here. So this is a Salac Sub Berry set. So I'm going to sub right down here into my Salac Berry. And of course, the Toxic is up on the Vullaby. So I'm obviously going to be doing damage to that at the same time, which is working out really nicely. Now, attacks on this. I've got Close Combat for Stab. And that's about where it ends. It gets Brutal Swing, which is really, really bad. Just hitting Ghost types. It's very, very weak at 60 base power. And I'm trying to think what the other move I had on it. I knew that were the main, most Close Combat and Brutal Swing were the main 2 moves I was using there on that one. The other move was sort of optional. You could have whatever you wanted on there. And I think I gave it Anger Point as the ability. Anyways, so continuing to sub down here. I need one more sub to activate my Salac Berry there. Vullaby is obviously going to continue going for the Dark Pulse there. It's already got 2 nasty plots up. It's already poisoned. There's no point swapping it out. It's best probably just to get my Krabola down as low as it possibly can. Okay, so the next turn, it is definitely going to go down. I'm going to go for my final substitute here, activating my Salac Berry here, so I can start outspeeding some stuff. Now, after this Salac Berry, I knew that I'd be able to outspeed the Toucannon, so it wouldn't be able to come in, and I knew that I had enough. I was very, very close to actually taking out close combat. I didn't even mean to do that pun then, but it'd become very close to take the 2 cannon out, which I was quite worried about. Alright, so Volovar's going to go down there to the final Toxic there, which was nice. Okay, so we have 2 Pokemon left. The second last Pokemon was the Lumineon. Really nice to see that being used too. Okay, so wasn't sure what sort of set this could be. It could be quite a few sets here. Going for the close combat anyway to see how much it does. Does a crap load of damage there. Now, I do get a critical hit there, so it was a very bulky set. I'd say it would have been max health at least, and maybe some defensive investment there as well. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the Whirlpool. Now, since I see Whirlpool there, I'm thinking it's definitely some sort of trapping set with like Toxic or Skull, one of those moves there. They're the only reason you see those sort of moves. Okay, so speaking of trapping moves, this was my Sandygast set. It's a very nice set. It also looks really cool, shiny too. Okay, so on this set, I've got Sand Tomb, which traps the opponent in there, much like a Whirlpool, except it's a ground type move. I've also got Toxic on this set. I've got Sandstorm for extra damage there and helping Sandygast out with its bulk. And I've got Shore Up as well, which is also boosted by the Sandstorm and basically heals most of your health ups. It's very, very powerful in the sand there. With the Everlight, I've got max health with the Everlight, and I've got this is a max special defensive set with water compaction. So when I get hit by a water type move, it's going to boost my defense by 1 stage, and this thing becomes so bulky. Okay, anyway, so Lumineon's going to actually attract me for about 2,000 turns. I can't do anything, but I knew I'd be able to last this thing out anyway. With the water compaction too, that is going to help me against the 2 cannon, because I know that thing's only got, well, it's only shown physical moves, and with the King's Rock, I'm thinking it's definitely all going to be physical moves. Okay, so I get immobilized by Love here, but that's fine. I know I just have to wait my time to get that 1 Toxic off, and I'm going to be able to outstall this thing very, very easily. So it's got the Aqua Ring and the Leftovers, which is giving it a lot of recovery there. I'm also locked into here with the Whirlpool, so I can't swap into Pyukumuku either. Now, on my Pyukumuku, I do have Inner Doubt too, so I was actually kind of waiting to use that against one of these. Maybe swapping into the Toucan to get rid of the Toucan, and then 1v1 the Lumineon at the end with my Sandygast. Okay, so I got the poison on the Toucan early on in the game, which is really, really nice here. Okay, so now it's going to go for the Drill Pack. Since I got a buff with water compaction there, I'm very, very bulky there. I'm getting the Sandstorm up, which is nice too. So here I can use my Shore Up, which is going to give me a crap load of health back. So that's how Shore Up works. You can use it normally, but if you use it in the sand, you get a lot more health recovery there. Okay, and a very interesting, definitely another one of my favorite Pokemon too, as well as Alolan Executor Man and Wishy Washy, and like all these Pokemon I really do like. Okay, so the 2 cannon is going to obviously go for the Bullet Seed there, hitting me 5 times with the Skill Link. Now, here I was hoping I didn't get Flinch, because that would be really, really bad. Then I would have to face a 2 cannon with my Pyukumuku, which would be weak to that, and it would not be very good. Thankfully, I don't. I'm able to get the Shore Up here, which looks pretty cool, actually. And I'm going to get, as you can see, I get a crap load of health, almost all my health back there. And the 2 cannon is going to get buffeted by the Sandstorm, and it's going to start to rack up the toxic damage there nicely there. So it really needs to get a flinch on me. That's the only way it's going to be able to actually get around me. So swapping out here into the Pyukumuku, I thought, well, this could be a range. I'm going to get the Innards out kill on the 2 cannon and 1v1 the Lumineon, as I thought earlier on in the game. So it's going to hit me 5 times there with the the Bullet Seed there. It's doing a fair amount of damage, but as I was looking it down, I'm like, damn, I'm going to probably need 6 hits for this thing to take me out, or a crit or something. Unfortunately there, the 5th hit doesn't quite take me out there. I was really disappointed with that. I thought I was just enough in range for it to take me out, and then it would take the 2 cannon out, but that's all good. I'm going to get hit by the Sandstorm there. The 2 cannon is going to go down to the poison there anyway, which is cool. So my eventual plan to stall that thing out worked nicely there. So Pyukumuku and Sandygast were sort of like my core of the team. The others were just more offensive. Wimpod was more a setup Pokemon. I will get into that in the next battle when you stick around there. Okay, so we have the Lumineon using Toxic on me, which I knew that I had with Whirlpool or some sort of status move. So going for my own Toxic there, I was really, really happy I was able to get that one off. Otherwise, the Lumineon would have been able to use Attract on my Sandygast, and it might have been like, 10 turns before I was even able to get a move off. Okay, so Pukimiku's going to go down there. Also, obviously, the idea of them using the Toxic on that is they wouldn't take any in and out damage. Not that it would have been much anyway, because I was only on a little bit of health. Okay, so the Luminion is poisoned there. The Sand is up. It's also doing damage there, which is good too. So really all here I have to go is for a Sand Tomb, and that's going to be enough to finish off the Luminion. It can only go for Whirlpool, which will make me, which is not going to do much anyway, and just keep activating my Water Compaction, which won't really do much anyway, because it's a special sweeper. Okay, so I'm going to get the Water Compaction here, but yeah, definitely try out this Sandy Gust, or even Big Sand Castle. Try them out too. They're very, very fun Pokemon to use. They can actually be offensive too. You could run like a nice choice spec set, like max health, max special attack, like modest nature. That would work really nicely too. Definitely go and try that one out. Alright, so Luminion is on its last legs, even though it doesn't actually have any legs. It's going to get trapped in there by the Sandstorm, Sand Tomb. The next turn, it's going to go down, and that's pretty much game. A very, very long battle, just due to the... I'd say due to the Luminion and the Sandygast mainly, and the Pukimiku was able to tank a lot of hits there. If I didn't have them, I would have definitely been in a lot of trouble, but then again, that's what the cores on your team are for. Okay, so last turn here using the Sandstorm, it doesn't really matter what I use. That's going to be the Luminion down. Also really nice to see that one being used. Now, as I said in this video, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, I've got 2 battles in these ones. I've actually been enjoying putting 2 battles up as well, because a lot of the time I'll have 2 good battles, and I'll be like, you know, I don't really like deciding between them if they're really good ones. And then it sort of got to a stage where I'll have another decent battle, so I put that as a bonus battle. So I normally have 3. 3 is a good number, because I normally have about 20 to 30 battles with each team on minimum. Alright, so our next battle we have against Bodhi on my chat. Now we have a Bulbasaur lead. I've got my Wimpod lead here. Now this is a Spikes lead. I gave this max health and max speed, max health and max speed. So I'm get a couple of layers of spikes up. I've got the Eggwith Berry there to restore my health, so I don't get whipped out early on. But in this case, I got critical hit by the Sludge Bomb. So best start 2017 there. You know, that was wonderful. So Wimpod doing an amazing job in both battles. I think I just had Leech Life on that one for a little bit of recovery there. I also had Taunt on that too. Alright, so bring in Wishy Washy here. It's time to school this Bulbasaur. Now, Bulbasaur's going to outspeed me there, go for the Giga Drain, does a crap load of damage to me there. Since I'm so bulky in health, I really do like this Pokemon, it's so bulky. I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam and take the Bulbasaur out there. I thought it could be like one of those sunny day boosting sets. I was quite happy that it wasn't. However, I did have the Alolan Executor to swap into that maybe afterwards. Alright, so we have the Dodo coming in here, which is nice. Dodo's the best internet ever. You Australians will know what I mean. No, it's actually one of the worst internets that I've ever had, followed closely by Vodafone. Anyway, so going for this Ice Beam here, I lived that knockoff. I've actually got Icy MZ on this if you didn't listen before, so obviously that's not going to get knocked off. So, pretty damn good start at the moment. However, I'm going to go into my solo mode there. Wishy Washy is on low health. So, have to leave this one in. There's no point in swapping it out. Alright, so the Muck's going to come in, which is non-Alola, which is nice to see. It's going to get a little bit of damage there by the spikes. Muck is going to go for the Curse here, which is going to make it really, really tanky and make it, make its attack pretty dang good. Now I thought, well, bugger it, let's go for the Z move here because I'm in solo form. I might as well use that move. And let's face it, Hydro Pump probably would miss. Okay, so going for my my Z move here at the moment. Oh, it's a good time to have a drink. Okay, so going for my Z move here, my Sub-Zero Slammer. This is going to look pretty funny with Wishy Washy at the top. So Wishy Washy is going to unleash all its rage there. And guys, watch this critical hit. That was a crit. Its stats are so bad in solo form. And Muck is obviously very, very bulky there too. So it's got the Black Sludge there for recovery, which it normally does have. Now Muck can just go for the Shadow Sneak or any other move to take out my Wishy Washy there. But that's all good. It took out a couple of it took out a Bulbasaur and Dodo, so it's it's going pretty well. All right. So bringing in my Crabola here. Now, I didn't really have high hopes of this. I actually wasn't really sure what I was going to do to this Muck. So I went for the crit there on Crab Hammer, which it doesn't get. But Muck's going to go for the Explosion. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's one way of getting rid of it. So obviously Explosion is definitely going to take Crabola out. There's no way. Even without the curse, that definitely would have taken out. So that was good. I didn't have lots of things to take that out there. Alright, so it's an even battle at the moment, 3 down on each side. So, swapping in Alolan Executor here, we've got the Beedrill here, which was nice. Now, I'm thinking here I could go for the Trick Room, or I could just go for Dragon Hammer. The Beedrill is going to go for the Poison Jab there. Obviously, that does a crap load of damage to me. I do have the Citrus Berry, but of course I get poisoned, so, let the good times roll. So I'm going to eat another berry in the clouds there, which is fine. Recovering a lot of my health. Setting up the Trick Room here so I can go first the next turn. I very much like this Executor Alola set with Trick Room. It's very, very handy, and I've got a lot of sets that are similar to it, or even special ones and bulky ones and sweeping ones. It's a very nice, versatile Pokemon. All right, so I've got another Citrus Berry there. Now I'm going to go for the Dragon Hammer. Now, unfortunately, Dragon Hammer only has 90 base power, so it's not super duper powerful. Then again, Beedrill isn't the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, so I can take it out with a crit there. I don't think that mattered too much there anyway. All right, so we have a while here. Now, this is where the problems started to occur. Right, so a little bit of spikes damage there. Now, I can't really touch this thing. The only thing I can do here is go for the Wood Hammer. I love that animation. It does over half health, so I was pretty dang happy with that one there. Now the Mawile is going to go for the Ice Beam here, so it's a special set with the Sheer Force there, and that's going to be enough easily to take out my Executor Alola there. All right, so I've got Sandygast and Pyukumuku left here. Now, I could go for the Sand Tomb here. That was the best thing I could do. I couldn't use Toxic or anything against it. So going for the Sand Tomb there, which was nice. So I did some pretty good damage there. Since I'm not, since I'm very weak against Ice here, it's going to do like a fair amount of damage to me there. It does over half health, so it's doing a lot of damage there. I'm guessing it's definitely modest there with the damage it's got. So here, I thought, well, I might leave Sandygast, get some damage on it, and get it some healing up and get some damage on the Mawile there. So going for the Shore Up there. Without the sand, it still does pretty good healing anyway. Mawile's going to continually go for the Ice Beam here. The only thing I was worried about whether I was going to get Freeze Hacks or not, because let's face it, that's always a common occurrence. Right, so I actually miss out on the kill with the Sand Trap there. Here I thought, let's swap into Pyukumuku and finish this thing off that way there. Because I thought, at the start, I thought it might be Specs there, so I just swapped into it, and I thought I could create a swap there later on. So it's going to go for Ice Beam there. It's not very effective. I don't get Free Sex. So now it's going to go for the Focus Blast, so it clearly wasn't Specs there. Focus Blast is a pretty high base power move that does quite a lot to me. Here I'm going to go for the Soak, turning into the Water type, so next turn I can use the Toxic on it and take it out that way. So now it's going to go for the Flash Cannon. I'm not sure if that predicted me to swap back into the Sandygast. I'm not very sure there. Here I'm going to go for the Recover. Because if I went back into Sandygast, the Focus Blast wouldn't have actually, hit me at all because I'm a Ghost type. So I'd say that's what the play was there. Well, that's how I could see it anyway. So the Focus Blast is going to hit me really, really hard there, getting off the Toxic against the Mawile there. Since it's as Soak, add the Water type to it, so I can now affect it with the Poison. Soak is a really nice move. I really like seeing it used. It's just hard to use it and hard to pull it off sometimes. Alright, so the last Pokemon is the Leafon, which was basically the Pokemon I was worried about for most of the battle. So my Wishy-Washy was weak against it. I was worried about that Leaf Blade crit, all those sort of things. My Crabola, I was my Weepod, my Pyukumuku, those sort of things I was very worried about, especially my Sandygast too, because this guy can be set up on quite easily and you can take it out. So the Leafon's got the Leaf Blade there, and that's going to take Sandygast out. Obviously, it's super effective too, and that's me down, unfortunately, there. So a big counter right at the end here. So bringing out Pyukumuku. Unfortunately, I don't have a hell of a lot of health here. I was hoping I could get the innards out, but unfortunately here, even with even with half health, and I knew innards out wouldn't do enough damage here. It's going to go for the Breakneck Blitz here, Z move, which looks pretty hilarious on most of the Pokemon. They just sort of run really fast, and they're just look, it's flying in the air, and it's going to smack right into the god himself and take that one out. So I get the innards out, but it wasn't quite enough there. So good game in the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed these. Guys, stick around for the bloopers. I hope you enjoyed these ones. Peace out.